Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws. Out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20. Breaks free of the 25 to the 30. To the outside. 40. Midfield. 40. 30 in the coast. 20. 15. Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this hump day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on. Go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago. Click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya. Like that page as well. So now you'll be liking both of those pages. Guys, if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. For real. Come on. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell that lets you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. You get it? You got it? Good. Now, if you're watching us on our mobile app, please don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. Come on, man. Get with the program. All right, so wherever you get your apps from, you go there. You download it. It doesn't matter whether it's iTunes or Google Play or Amazon or Walmart or Kmart or 7-Eleven or Zayre or Zemsky, Macy's, Montgomery Ward, Woolworth, Weebolts. All right, doesn't matter. Goldblatts, it doesn't matter. Type in Sports Zone Chicago. You download it. You take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, and not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles thanks to my man Clarence, Counsel III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. If you're watching us, listen. If you're watching us on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. Listen, if you don't know, you better ask somebody because we have our own Roku channel. Yes, we do, doctor. Yes, we do. Man. Follow us on Roku. All right, so if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel to your television. Okay, you put it up there next to the big boys, Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Max, which we were watching last night. All of us were watching it last night. Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Stars. Oh, snap. Power starts on Friday. Yes. The final season of Power Book 2 with Tariq. Oh, man. But I digress. Put us there. Watch us on the big screen. We should be on the big screen, right? Mickey, Ficky, now. Let's see. Now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy one handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Center. Hey, listen, we got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So keep them all, baby. Keep them all coming. Questions, comments, smart ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Let's see who we got over here. Let's check out the chat, baby. See what's going on. Cornelius Squalls in the house. What up? What up? What up, Sports Zoners? Man, watching Caleb fire the ball around last night really has me pumped up for the season. Let's go. Yeah, Cornelius. Petty Lara's in the house. Miss Lada, how are you? What up? What up? What up? We're getting closer to game day. How exciting. Yes, Miss Lada. Mrs. Lada. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, top of the morning, Theo Shawn. Big shout out to Jeremiah and Dito Armandito. I know you're not watching because you're at school, but you'll catch us later. So good morning, Jeremiah and Dito. See who else? My man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. My man Junior's in the house. Good morning, Papa. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing better today. And it's great to see you checking in. Off the dub. Yeah, almost Sunday. Are you excited? The bear shit in the woods? Hell yeah, I'm excited. That's what I'm talking. No pun intended. I didn't even realize. No pun intended. The Bears. That's funny. I made myself chuckle. Kevin, great Scott. Kevin Scott's in the house. Good morning, Papa. The Bears. You damn right, baby. You damn right. Off the dub. You like my Zaire comment, huh? I'm taking you back a little bit, huh? Let's take it back to the old school. Off the dub. When was the last time you heard someone mention Zaire? Levette Lee's in the house. Good morning, Mama. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it, as always. Cornelius Squall, I'm geeked to the peak. Geeked to the peak. I don't know if I've ever heard that saying. Interesting, Cornelius. I mean, you're fired up, huh? You are fired up. Oh, man, just checking in the show, man. Plank is in the house. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Listen, we got a great show. Great. We got a really big show. Really big from my Sullivan people. That's probably went over a lot of your heads, but that's okay. 10 o'clock, Lester Wilfong Jr. is going to join me. We're going to talk Bears. All right, we're going to talk a lot of some hard knocks. We'll talk about the final roster. We're going to talk about Sunday. We're going to talk about the whole season in its entirety. It's good. It's good. I like having Lester on. Good friend of the program. And yeah, good friend of the program. So 10 o'clock, Lester Wilfong Jr. He's editor-in-chief over at Windy City Gridiron. And I was like, you know what? It seems like it was just like a month ago we had him on. It actually was over a month. It was in July that we had him on. I was like, whoa. That was a long time, man. Long time. See who else? No, everybody else is here. Plank, Cornelius. All right, well, listen. I don't know about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. I can promise you. Man, so we're gonna get into the top of the morning topics. Should we start that now? You know, one of the things that got me last night, and I'm sure you all, most of you caught it, or maybe I shouldn't say I'm sure. I'm very confident that most of you felt emotion last night when you watched, or if you watched it this morning, whenever you watched the final episode of Hard Knocks. It showed the human side. And now I've never watched Hard Knocks because the Bears weren't on it. I'm like, I don't really care. I didn't care to watch anybody else. I don't. Sorry. Not sorry. So watching when the Bears were on, I was happy. I was excited as a pig and slop, you know? And so I really liked the human side that they showed. Last week was a tearjerker with Ian Wheeler. All right, but this one, yesterday's episode, it got to me because it showed you that they also that they're people and they understand the human side of it. Ryan Poles gets the human side of it, you know. His cutting of Colbert was tough, you know, and to me that was, and you know what, it just showed, you know, and probably some other GMs who are more grizzled and, you know, been in the game longer might not have had that reaction, you know, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. You know, him and Ian were talking. He's like, yeah, he goes, you can't invest in people, get good quality people, and then be like, yeah, sorry, later. Thanks for your service. No, you invest in good quality people for a reason. All right, and let's keep it a buck. Let's not. Yeah, you want good players, but the thing is, you want to minimize or mitigate any off-season issue, any off-season problems when you get people who are when you don't get the right type of people. Okay. And Ryan Poles has chosen. Remember, he said that already. He said, you know, we are. It's not just acquiring talent; it's acquiring the right talent. By the right talent, he meant the right certain type of people. All right, like he's definitely not bringing in any of the Cowboys from the 1990s. Not a lot of guys from the U back then would have been on his team. And also, which was really cool, is he did say, which was ironic. He's like, I got cut from this building before, so that was kind of wild, huh? Come back full circle. You know, he's gotten, you know, he got released in that building. Remember, he played with the Bears. Now his job is to crush the dreams of so many young people. Because when he got cut, remember, he was an undrafted free agent out of Boston College. When he got cut from the Bears, if you remember what they said last night, he did play another down of football again. All right, he went into the front office. He went to the, you know, he found his path. And his path wasn't on the football field. It was being a player. It was developing and constructing a championship team, a championship organization. And to this point, he's been doing a pretty good job. All right, I think he's done a great job to this point. All right, I think I think that, you know, people tend to gravitate toward the negative and the controversial. All right, that's just how people are. All right, for whatever reason. Okay. And when people talk about it, you always have the jamokes like, well, yeah, the Chase Claypool trade, and you're like, so you go and you bring up the, you know, one of the mistakes he made, as if no other GM has ever made a mistake. Look at the hits, no pun intended. But look at all the hits that he's had in free agency. Okay. To me, I applaud him for not being gun shy after the Chase Claypool deal, and he went out and got the Montez Sweat deal done, the trade done, and then the extension. That dude's a game changer. Okay, that dude's a game changer. All right, lets Roquan Smith go. Brings in two linebackers for a little more than the price of a Roquan Smith, and they're just as effective. And I hope Tremaine Edmonds plays better this year. Hope he's not as injured as he was as much, or if at all, as he was last year. But DJ Edwards, he was up there. Him and Roschon were battling it out for in the top 3 for tackles last year. Okay, a lot of his moves that he's made have been winners. A lot of his moves. So it's easy for us to say, well, what about this? We wasted this. You know, how about him making the trade the number 1 overall pick? Okay, when many people would have taken or used that pick to select the quarterback. Okay, he didn't. So I'm happy with what he's done. Okay, I'm happy. Not satisfied yet because he hasn't brought the Lombardi Trophy here yet. Yeah, Cornelius, you got it. Yeah, he knows how. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Kevin Scott poses the truth. Plank is fired up this morning. Plank says Cornelius Squalls, this team, and then he in caps, this team has me pumped too, brother. Let's go. Oh man. Another Plank comment. He says, off the dub, Sunday starts the taking of the North and never giving it back. Yeah, it does. It does. So we're going to talk a little more about that in our Bear segment. But before we get to, but definitely when we get to Lester. And he's coming up at the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. Cornelius says if Tremaine Edmonds stays healthy, he's going to be a beast in the passing lanes. Yeah, because he's like 6'5". Remember Urlacher? I think Urlacher was 6'4", 6'5". And he wreaked havoc. He wreaked havoc in the backfield. I really hope he has a crazy, crazy year. But you know what? I hope this whole defense. Obviously, I want the offense to do well. I'm an offensive guy. I played running back my entire career. Okay. But I know defense. And I know how fired up we as a city, as a fan base, get fired up for our defense. And our defense right now is poised to be top 3. And I don't think they're 2 or 3. But they got to put it together. And what I really liked yesterday, and we'll talk about it as well, was with Leicester. I liked how they were. One, the veterans are giving the youngsters advice. You saw Montez Sweat with Austin Booker. But I also loved how Jalen was talking to Rome and say, "Hey, give me some takeoffs." All right, and he was trying to read those and working on those with the rookie. That is literally, if iron sharpening iron was a person, that was that scene right there. With Jalen Johnson and Rome Odunze, where Jalen's asking Rome, "Hey, give me a takeoff off the line." And he was just watching him and working with him and trying to defend him. And then they're talking it out. I mean, that is literally the definition of iron sharpening iron. And that really, really did my soul well. All right. Because it reminds me of a lot of the team that I played on. Okay. Because I've been fortunate to have on the teams that I played on have great wide receivers, have great DBs. And man, they not only would they go at it in practice and a lot of the shit talking and all the stuff that they do like that, but they would also work on each other after. Like, hey, let me see this, let me see that. What did you do here? What did you do there? How'd you get open? How do you know what I mean? And when I see that again, I've said this ad nauseum, but I'll say it again. Like, this is what makes championship teams. The fact that you see these guys enjoying being on the field together is awesome. The fact that you see these guys really supporting each other all the way down from the starters all the way to the guys who got cut. You can tell that they love hanging out with each other. And to me, that's dope. To me, that is dope. But that's how you get the bond. That's how you get that is the foundation for championship teams. I shouldn't say that. One of the key pieces because you obviously need talent. You need talent. But you get the talent, and then all of a sudden you start building bonds with each other. Yeah, it's a whole different. The level of respect that you have for your players and love you have for your teammates makes you feel that you cannot let the team down in any way, shape, or form. And that's what I'm seeing with this team. That's exactly what I'm seeing with this team. You know. So listen, here's what we're gonna do. I don't want to just start it, do one little topic, and then we got to go to commercial. So we're gonna go to commercial. Probably about 30 seconds earlier than we should be, but that's okay. We're gonna go to commercial. On the other side of the break, we're gonna jump right into the top of the morning topics. We got a lot to talk. We have football, we have baseball, basketball, fired up. All right. So on the other side of the break, we have top of the morning topics. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
To the plate.
Line drive, caught out of the air. Dansby swats it to his right. The Gold Glover making the play on a hard hit. Bounce towards third, waiting on it. Paredes throws the first in time, and they get Cruz. And Kyle able to get him 1, 2, 3.
Seiya Suzuki stands in.
Swing and a line drive. That's up the middle, and it'll be a base hit. And a 2-out single for Seiya Suzuki. On the ground to third, Paredes up with it. Over to Bush. And Kyle.
Fairly close. Oh, so they got him. Bethencourt fires to first. Pick him off.
They're not going to challenge this. What a play by Christian Bethencourt to get Tellez.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of the Marquee Network. Those were your Cubbies, Cub fans. Yeah, we're going to talk about them in a second. Let's just get to it.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
First top of the morning topic. Which way do we go? Since we came out of break with them, we'll start with them. Oh goodness! You know what? We won't start with them. We'll start with these guys. The White Sox. Man, oh man, oh man! What a tough one. The White Sox. White Sox get shut out by the Orioles, 9-0. It is their 12th consecutive loss. Man. The White Sox fall to 31-109. Nick Nastrini, he was on the bump. He got the loss. He's 0-7 on the season. He went 1 2/3. 1 2/3. That's it. 7 hits, 7 runs. 4 of them were earned. 6 free passes, 2 punch outs. Andrew Benintendi was 1 for 3 with a double. Was 19th. Andrew Vaughn 1 for 3. And Amaya was 2 for 3. There's not a lot to talk about when you're shut out. Not a lot to talk about at all. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. 31-109. Wow. How many more games left? Sticking with that, the next top of the morning topic, the White Sox finished their series in Baltimore today. All right, first pitch is at 5:35 p.m. Central. I'm not expecting them to win this one, but, you never know. First pitch is at 5:35 Central. You can catch that game on NBC Sports Chicago or listen to it on their flagship ESPN 1000 or 1000 AM. The probables for today, Jonathan Cannon on the bump for the Southsiders. He's 2-9 with a 4.70 ERA. Going up against Albert Suarez, who's 7-4 with a 3.14 ERA. The next top of the morning topic, this is what I was laughing at. The Cubs. The Cubs also get blanked. The Cubs get blanked by the Pittsburgh Pirates 5-0. The professor was, he is having a rough year. His tenure might be up on the north side. He got the loss. He's 3-11, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 punch outs. Cody Bellinger was 1 for 3. Ian Happ was 1 for 4. And I talked about there's not much to talk about when there's no runs scored. But you look at, it's not a bad outing for him. Just looking at the stat line, 5 innings, 2 earned runs. You need offense. This offense has been very erratic. Very erratic. Off the dub says Cubs balling, but maybe too little too late or too much too late. Yeah, it might be. It might be off the dub. It might be. Yeah. Well, for the Cubs, the Cubs finish their series. They close out their series with the Pirates today. All right. Today at Wrigley Field. First pitch is at 6:40 p.m. You can catch that game on the Marquee Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. The probables for this game: Bailey Falter on the bump for the Pirates. He's 6-7 with a 4.41 ERA, going up against Shota Imanaga, who's 11-3 with a 3.14 ERA. Shota's got to have a great outing, and the offense has to come to life. They just cannot. You're fighting now. You're 4.5 games out of the second wild card spot, and you can't have losses like this for the Cubs. You just can't. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You cannot have losses like that. Not at this stage of the season. This stretch, it's imperative that. And I know they had a 6-game winning streak, if I'm not mistaken. But you can't lose. Yeah. No, they lost 2. Oh my goodness. Wow, I didn't realize they had this is the second one. Wow. Yeah, they're faltering. This is why Cub fans get so frustrated. Because you're literally making a carbon copy of last year. Okay? Started off slow. Remember, you had the same record this year as you had last year at the All-Star break. And then you turned it on. But then you missed the playoffs by 1 game. You missed it by that much. And you go back as a Cub fan, you go back and you're like, where? And you, as a fan, you try and say, okay, here's a game we should have won. Here's a game we should have won. Here's a game we should have won. Because that losing or missing out on the playoffs by 1 game, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Really, really frustrating. Because you fought all the way back to get there, and then it's like running to catch a bus. You're late, you know it, and you see the bus pull out. You're running, you might be banging on the back of the bus. Bus driver, I'm here, which I've done. Some bus drivers stop. Other bus drivers like, F you, I got a schedule to keep. And that's what it's like. That's what it's like. Because you're thinking, man, if I would have done this, or, when you're driving, if that's the case, I'm like, man, if I would have run that yellow light, or if that dude in front of me would have run the yellow light, I would have run it too. Something like, you know what I mean? Something like that. But that's what Cub fans will do. And sit back and say, remember this game where we should have won? Remember this game where the bullpen blew it? Remember this game where the bullpen blew it? Remember that game? They start going back and forth, and it's just agonizing. Agonizing as a Cub fan. Off the Dove says, well, the other day there were only 98 people at the Sox game. This has to be a wake-up call for management. No, it's not. Oh. It was last week when they had the doubleheader. Remember, the game got rained out the day before, so they had the doubleheader the next day. So most people said that first game, there were only about 100. There were between 100 and 200 people for that first game. But you have to understand that they've done a good job of insulating themselves. The owners don't make the bulk of their money from the attendance. They don't. All right. They get their money from deals and the merchandising. That's where the bulk of their money comes in. But the White Sox have done a good job. They're always going to sell out opening day. They're always going to have a great show out for the crosstown. They're always going to have a great show out for the Yankees. This year the Dodgers were here, so you knew you had a great showing out for that. That was the only one of the game versus the Dodgers. That was the only game that they've sold out all year. The Dodgers, and then they had Mexican Heritage Night. They have another Mexican Heritage Night, which I'm going to, and I don't know why, but I digress. So they've done a good job. They know they're going to have a few games that are going to be sold out or pretty close, full crowds. And then what they've also done, which I thought is ingenious, is they have some phenomenal giveaways. Some phenomenal giveaways to the point where people will buy a ticket. Like, remember, I did this before. I'm just too lazy. They did it before. They'd buy a couple tickets and just go in and come out and go in again with the other ticket and get the other. So, and you're asking, well, how do they make money if you only pay like $3 a ticket? Well, those tickets are bought already, but from a third party, or they're the first party. We're the third party. So somebody bought those tickets already, and they're just reselling them, and they're realizing that they're trying to minimize their loss. So you got the scalpers or the ticket brokers who are buying tickets for the game. So he's making money. Again, I just want to see nobody in the stadium, in the stands, because it would be an embarrassment. I want them to talk about it nationally. Nationally, I want them to talk about this because it's ridiculous. James Ford, good morning, Papa. How are you? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. King Booker World back in the place. Armando says they had bases loaded twice. I'm sorry, twice they had bases loaded and hit into ending double plays. Oh my God. I know. That pissed me off, and that's not even my team. But I know, do you know why it pissed me off? Because my White Sox have done the same God blessed thing. Often. So I feel you. I feel you. Man, that is Kevin Scott. Kevin Scott writes, note to Cubs management, invest in a few dominant relief pitchers, please. I hear you, dog. I hear you. Man, it's King Booker World about the Sox game of the 100, 200 people. He's like, yeah, and 33 are employees. Remember I said that? I said, I want there to be more employees than fans. That's what I want. I want more employees than fans at the Sox game. King Booker World also writes, Sox won't get another dime of my money until Reinsdorf no longer has anything to do with the team. And that's how my guy Eddie G is. Big shout out to Eddie Gutierrez. Eddie G, the owner of Output. And he hasn't gone to any games this year. He says he's nothing. Cornelius Squall says, fire Jed Hoyer for another middling team. Yeah, I argue if I could. Armando says they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Yeah, I think you can't. You should have learned your lesson last year. And I'll mind you, Craig Counsell was not here last year. However, the players were here last year. Most of the players were here last year. And you didn't think it'd be wise to start off better? You didn't think it was? King Booker World, this is freaking hilarious. King Booker World says, before the year's out, we will be able to hear the beer man yelling, beer here, on TV. He's talking about his Sox games. King Booker World, when I hear that, I will immediately think of you and start laughing my face off. But back to the Cubs. Didn't you think it would behoove you to start off better? All right, you had that last year, and you missed it by that much. So why not say, hey, let's get off to a better start, take the break, and even if we had the same year last year, we had a much better first half of the season. We're in the playoffs or whatever, play in, whatever you want to call it. You're in the wild card. Sorry, play-ins just for the NBA. I don't know. I don't know. Let's check it out. The next top of the morning topic. Yesterday was just a bad day for Chicago sports, wasn't it? The sky fell. Chicken Little, the sky fell. To the Las Vegas Aces yesterday, 90-71 out in Sin City. Angel Reese with another double-double, 12 points, 16 rebounds. Camila Cardoso, 14 points, 2 rebounds. Listen, Mama, what are you doing? Like, Camilla, why do you only have 2 rebounds? I mean, Mama, you're the. Listen, young lady, you are 6'7". 6'7". And you come down with 2 rebounds? 2 rebounds? 6'7"? Come on, you know what I'm saying? Like something is not right there. Like you've got to be a bigger force on the boards. You know, you've got to be a big force. You know, Angel Reese. All right, she extended her rookie record for double-doubles to 25. She got 25 double-doubles. Camilla, we need more out of you, young lady. We need more out of you. Like you can't be 6'7" and have 2 rebounds, period. That's killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. No, I don't believe Kennedy Carter even traveled with the team. Let me double check. I don't think she even traveled with the team. Cornelia Squalls asked, did Kennedy Carter play? Yeah, I don't think she even traveled. I think she's still in protocol. Yeah, Tuesday was Sky Sports' consecutive game without leading scorer Kennedy Carter, who's been in the NBA's health and safety protocol. Carter didn't travel with the team to Minneapolis or Vegas for his two-game road trip. On Tuesday, video circulated online of Carter in the hospital. Sky coach Teresa Witherspoon declined to comment on Carter's hospital visit other than to say she's doing fine. I speak with her every single day, Witherspoon said. I know nothing of a video. I'm not a true social media person like that. She's doing fine. She's recovering. That's from Annie Constable in today's Chicago Sun-Times. Cornelia said the Sky are dead in the water without Kennedy Carter. I couldn't agree more. Kennedy Carter has found a home here in Chicago. She's found a home. Junior says, Armando Lara Jr., my guy Junior says the Sky look flat-footed compared to other teams. They do. But I mean, you are facing the two-time defending champs. But I would think they'd be fired up in the morning, you know? I mean, in the morning. They'd be fired up for that game. Brandon Schutz, what's up, Papa? Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Yeah, Kevin, no Kennedy Carter. King Booker World with his Spanish. Camila, baby, escúchame. Those 2 reasons? I think he meant to say rebounds. That's no Gouda cheese. If you're talking, Brandon, if you're talking about the sky, it's Teresa Witherspoon. Teresa Witherspoon went to Louisiana Tech, played under Kim Mulkey like Angel Reese did, but she played for her at Louisiana Tech. She played in the WNBA for the Liberty for a long time. Got to the Sky's coaches. Junior, Carter is in the room next to mine. Oh man, but yeah, that sucks. Like I don't know. I think they won one game since the All-Star / Olympic break. That's not good. Or as King Booker World will say, that's not Gouda cheese. That's not Gouda. Well, Kevin, I agree. Kevin and Scott writes they need better guard play. I agree, Kevin. But with Kennedy Carter out, she is the heart and soul of that team. She runs it. She runs it. You know, Jason Palmer, you know, co-host here on Sports Zone Chicago of the show, of the podcast, What's Up, Cuz, was a big advocate of Dana Evans last couple seasons. And now she seems to get pushed out. Actually, Dana Evans requested a trade. She requested a trade because she's relegated to the bench. But what are you not doing? I mean, but Kennedy Carter, you know, Kennedy Carter has gotten a bad rap, a little too physical at times. If she wasn't on my team, I'd probably agree with that. But I like it. She's tough. She's tough-nosed. She's adamant. She's driven. And she's found a home here in Chicago. Do not be surprised if they extend her. Let me see what her contract is. Do not be surprised if they extend her. Oh, what am I doing? Silly. Oh, silly. Yeah, Kennedy. I hope it's not a one-year deal. We'll find out. She did. 1 year, $76,000. What? $76,000 deal, Kennedy Carter. 1 year. Don't be surprised if they extend her. King Booker World, he writes, sometimes a break can also be a bad thing. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more, King Booker World. Cornelius Squall's right. There aren't players more athletic than Kennedy Carter. No. And she's got a motor. And she's got a little edge, a little drive to her. Little, you know what I mean? I like that. We need that. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm a big fan of Kennedy Carter. She's got to come back because this guy need to get straight. It's cloudy skies right now. We need to clear it up. All righty. The next top of the morning topic. The Bears resume practice today. Today, baby. Oh, don't tell me here you go. For their opening game matchup. For the week 1 matchup against the Tennessee Titans Sunday at Soldier Field. That game kickoff is at high noon. You can catch that game on Fox 32 or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. What are you saying, buddy? Brandon Schutz, it's almost Friday. What happened the week? It's only Wednesday. It didn't go by that fast, I don't think. Even with a short week, it seems like it's maybe it's me, but it seems like the week has gone a little slower. It's with the day off on Monday. Like today's only Wednesday. What? It's only Wednesday. But I'm excited. We're going to talk about More about that, my man Lester Wilfong is going to join us at the top of the hour. You know, how fired up are you? How fired up are you guys? Because I'm really fired up. The next top of the morning topic yesterday was the final episode of Hard Knocks on HBO. Takeaways from the final episode. We started talking about those earlier. I was talking about showed the human side of Ryan Poles. All right. It showed how, he was talking to Colbert and he had to walk off camera just to compose himself. In Colbert, Adrian Colbert was the guy who, they did the piece on the highlight on him where, he was when he was young, where he was 9 years old and he got hit. He was playing in a championship game. Before that, he was riding on his bicycle in his uniform and got hit by a car. Broke some bones, and was in a coma for a week or two. And the doctor said he'd never play football again. Well, guess what? Now he's, trying out for NFL teams. His story's crazy, and Ryan Poles took a liking to him. When they had to cut him, it was tough for him, and you saw the emotion. I think what it did yesterday, it really put Ryan Poles in a great light. I think the Bears, a lot of people had issues with the fact that the Bears weren't swearing, which is definitely not real football, real around a real organization. Guys swear. But the McCaskies, and believe you me, word had to come down from the top saying, hey, you know what? Let's not be swearing. And if there is swearing, let's not have that edited or put on camera. It's just, that was fake, to be told, but are not realistic, I should say. But at this point, it is what it is. All right, Hard Knocks is over. The season's about to begin. Cornelius Squall says, it seems too slow to me, too. He's talking about the week. Oh, Lester. We're talking about the week, and Cornelius says, it seems too slow to me, too. It's got to be because I can't wait for the season to start on Sunday. No, I wasn't. I don't think it's that for me. I just don't know why. Let's do that. I just don't know why this week is going by really, really, really slow. Really slow. Oh, Brandon Schutz says, I have Fox Jets in Houston. I might watch that. Brandon, I forgot, where are you at? You down in Texas or in the East Coast? Brandon, where are you at? That's why you're getting the Fox game, the Jets and Texans. Junior says, I guess I can never be a Bear. Why not? Well, one, you're too damn old now, but pinche viejo, eh? Oh man, that's funny. But man, I'm fired up. I'm excited about this. It's gonna be dope. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a break. On the other side of the break, okay. On the other side of the break, we're gonna welcome Lester Wilfong Jr. When he gets in, he said he's running a few minutes late. He's in a meeting. And I said, don't worry about it. Take your time. All right. On the other side of the break, Lester's going to join us as soon as he gets out of his meeting. So don't go anywhere, folks. We got up with Lester Wilfong Jr. from Windy City Gridiron. So don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
To me, it's one of the worst days of this job. It's hard to tell that many people that their dream's ending. The ironic thing for me is I've been cut in this building before.
That was in 2008, when as an undrafted rookie out of Boston College, Ryan Poles tried to make the Bears.
Try to have a lot of empathy in the way that we communicate it, because these guys have put a lot of time and effort into making a football team. What I try to do is do a really good job giving feedback, so they at least know the why behind it, and they can continue to work on their craft and hopefully have an opportunity at some point to make a football team.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of HBO Max. That is the former undrafted free agent lineman out of Boston College, and now the current Bears. I was going to say Bulls. What the hell is that about? Bears general manager Ryan Poles. And it is kind of ironic, that he was cut, and now he's developing that franchise into a Super Bowl contender, hopefully a multiple-time Super Bowl champion, but at least a Super Bowl contender. We'll see how it goes. According to King Book of World, he says, my respect for Poles skyrocketed. Yeah, I've always liked Poles. I really have, because he's introspective. All right. And then yesterday, seeing that part of it, the human side of it, I'm like, all right, he is the dude that I thought he was. All right. And I like it. I like his approach. I like his personality. I like his approach to building this team, and them showing the human side of Poles. I agree, King Book of World, that skyrocketed my respect for him as well. So my guest today, my next guest is a good friend of the program, man. He's been rocking with us for years. He's the big head honcho over there at Windy City Gridiron. He's the editor-in-chief. And you can find him on Twitter at WWiltfongJR. Guys, let's welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Lester Wiltfong Jr. What's up, Papa? Good morning.
Doing good, Shawn. How are you?
Man, I am wonderful. I'm fired up. That was a good episode of for the finale of Hard Knocks yesterday. One of the things that I was talking about most of the show today, or part of the show, was how they show the human side of it. Yeah, you saw the players, all right, with Ian Wheeler last year, but then last week, and then Colbert this week. But you saw Ryan Poles, and it took me to another level because I respected him. I liked what he did, but it just shows you that he gets it. He's like, man, it's tough, and he had to go off camera. Give me your thoughts on the finale yesterday. That part with Ryan Poles and Adrian Colbert.
Yeah, I know a lot of fans have been looking for drama, right? I mean, they want drama in their Hard Knocks. They want drama in their reality television. And as far as these Bears go, this was it. This was the drama we got. It was the cut down day. Will this guy make the roster? Of course, as us Bears fans, we all know who was getting cut. We on the waiver wire. We do articles. We podcast about us. But the casual NFL fan, they don't know. So having them see that is one thing. But then, like you said, man, the Ryan Poles thing, stepping off camera, having to collect himself because, he knew what he was about to do with a guy that he really respects. And this isn't a guy that's like, I was looking at Colbert's career a little bit yesterday. Okay. He's been on 10 teams. Bears are his 10th team. He was signed to the practice squad in 2022 with the Bears. He was only on a team for a couple months. Season ended. He brought him back on a reserve future deal. The next season he got injured. They waived him with a settlement. They brought him back again in November. So he's been probably in Hallis Hall less than a year total, but he had an impact on Ryan Poles. Obviously his teammates all care for him as well. So just the fact that Adrian Colbert will say that the Bears are his favorite organization he's played with. We're talking Patriots. We're talking 49ers. You know what I mean? Some pretty good, well-run organizations. He said this is his favorite organization. I think that's what the Bears probably wanted to get out of Hard Knocks, is having them come across as a competent, well-run organization, because, the years past, that hasn't always been the case.
No, it hasn't. And you know what? This is a place that people want to come to. And I think that's what's awesome about it. Because in a place, this is a place where people are like, well, can I get one more contract? You get how many old over the hill veterans we sign, like a Brian Cox and and a whole bunch of other people that just like they're jersey wearers, for all intents and purposes. Now you got people wanting to come here. And Ryan Poles told us he wasn't bullshitting. He said it's going to be hard to make this team. He told us that a couple of months ago, and man, truer words were never spoken. And I love the fact that it is difficult to make this team. I love the fact that the cut down day is so difficult, because now it means because you have talent. It means because you have a lot of talent. And I think that goes a long way. Talk to me about the Velus Jones situation. Did you think he was going to make it, and how effective, how productive you think he's going to be? Because he's basically like a joker type of player.
I had Velus as a lock. It's the first time I looked at the roster, like way back in the offseason, because of his special teams ability. We, as fans, he's a pretty good kick returner. Okay, well, he's also a gunner. He also covers kicks. So when I looked at the snap counts and I saw that he was that guy on your roster, he was your wide receiver 6. He was your Josh Bellamy, right? He's the guy that plays special teams. He plays receiver if you need him to, but you're not counting on that. He's there for special teams. He added value this offseason with his running back ability. And
yeah, he did.
We heard the coach talk about it in Hard Knocks, how explosive he is. We heard Flus talk about it, how explosive he is. 4.3 speed. That's something you can't teach. We talk about it all the time. You have those God-given abilities where you can just do that. Anytime he touches the ball, he can go to the house. So he may not get a ton of touches, but he's going to have a few series here and there where he's in the game. He's going to have a few times in the game where the defense has to recognize, there's that 4.3 speed guy. We have to know what he's doing.
But that's going to be tough, though, Lester.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough, because you want to focus on him. You better not take your eyes off of DJ Moore.
Yep.
You better not take your eyes off of Keenan Allen or Roma Dunze, or, you know what I mean? Like this guy, like you're worried about stars. I got to worry about this guy. I got to worry about, oh shit. And I got to worry about this fifth option who runs a 4-3. How difficult is that going to be? And how exciting should fans be? Because if you got to worry about those guys, this guy might sneak up and have like 4 or 5 touchdowns at like key moments.
And that's where Shane Waldron comes into play. I mean, we talked about it a little bit in the offseason, how important he will be to kind of incorporate all the weapons, right? You talk about Moore, Allen, Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett, DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, all these weapons that have been, successful in the NFL. We didn't even think about Velus Jones. And now here's Velus Jones, where he kind of showed himself what he can do with the ball in his hands. He showed the vision. He showed the cutback ability. We seen him running inside. Yeah, it was against, the reserves in preseason, but he's still showing a willingness to run inside as a converted receiver.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing for a running back. If you don't have the whole package as a running back, your carries will be limited. The one thing we have to see is, can he pick up a blitz? Obviously, that's what's held back some other tailbacks throughout history of the NFL. You have to play in the passing game. We know he can catch a ball. He doesn't have the best hands as a receiver, but as a running back, his hands aren't that bad. You know what I mean? So I think they're going to see him get a few packages here and there, jet sweep. They're going to move him around that offense a bit. They're going to make defenses look for him when he's on the field. And like you said, that's good, because now what do you do with DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, Roma Dunze, you know what I mean? All these other guys that are on the field, just something else for defense to think about and something else for Shane Waldron to play with.
I'm excited for Shane Waldron. Like he's got to be happier than a kid in a candy store. All his options are legit. If they're not top tier talent, they have world-class speed, aka a la Velus Jones, Tyler Scott. All right, Tyler Scott and Velus Jones are 2 names that no one will ever game plan around. Okay. And this is the crazy part. Like, okay, I'm not game planning around them, but damn, I still have to be worried about them. I'm worried about future Hall of Famer Keenan Allen and DJ Moore and Cole Kmet and, stud to be rookie, Roma Dunze. So I love, I wonder how Shane Waldron sleeps. He's got to sleep at night with a big smile on his face because of all the options that he has offensively. Most importantly, how do you feel about this offensive line? Are you comfortable with it? Are you worried about the depth? Are you okay with the starting 5? You're not okay with the starting 5? Give me your assessment. You being a former offensive lineman, I know this is near and dear to your heart. Give me your thoughts on the offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, there's some pieces there. I mean, we still got to see how it comes together. I mean, the whole Nate Davis situation. I mean, when he's right, he's a pretty good football player. He's not going to make any all pros for you, but he's serviceable. He's fine. He can do his job. He's okay in that spot, but we haven't seen him fine in a Bear uniform. So hopefully he gets his things going here. The coaching staff still are not happy with him. I mean, we heard them kind of talk about him, in last week, as early as last week, they still were talking about how, his spot's not really, locked in stone. So Ryan Bates will be back to kind of give you that super sub mentality at start. Coleman Shelton is a little bit on the lighter side. He's only 285. That's what he lists him at. He looks like a little lighter of a center. Most centers are a little bigger, So how will he hold up? I mean, good test here. Week 1 against the Titans. They have a really, really good interior of that defensive line. So we'll kind of see how they kind of play that. I'm sure we'll see a lot of double team, a lot of combo blocks, help things out, and which is good because Jenkins, at the other guard, he's good at that. I mean, he's a nasty player. He'll look for work. He'll want to come in, he'll pop you. And then the tackles, I'm comfortable with tackles. I think Darnell Wright has Pro Bowl potential. And I've always been a fan of Braxton Jones. I just like the way he works. I like the way he goes about his business. He's a professional. He works on his craft every offseason. He understands what he is and what he isn't, and he works to kind of correct that. So I'm comfortable with the tackles. We got to see how that interior kind of comes together.
Yeah, I was worried about Braxton, but I noticed last year how he gained weight, he got stronger. All right, he matched up against the bull rush much better than the year before. Still not great at it, but he's much better. And I think the one thing that people talk about is development. Well, if he continues to develop, like how can you be mad? Like this could be one of Ryan Poles' best picks. Because if you get a left tackle in the 47th round, like baseball, like he did, he's 6th round, 7th round for Braxton Jones, and he's just starting left tackle and he's serviceable. wow. So now you're not only that is he serviceable, but now you're looking at the cost aspect of it, because unfortunately you do have to. There is a cap that you got to abide by. You can get him you got your left tackle for the next, I don't know, maybe 5 to 6 years before you really, really need one at a cost effective weight. Man, that's phenomenal for him. And then Darnell Wright, I've loved him, man, since he came out. He's just a mauler, and I think I agree with you. I'm a little concerned about the two guards, Tevin and Nate Davis. Man, if Tevin could just stay healthy,
yeah,
that's the biggest issue. If he does stay healthy, it's a contract year for him. If he does stay healthy, how good of a year do you think he can have?
Yeah, I mean, if he's healthy, if he plays, 15, 16, all 17 games, I mean, I think we're talking about a guy that can make the Pro Bowl. I think he's that good. He kind of showed that. You look at the analytics sites that do the grading, Pro Football Focus, some other ones, they always have him pretty high in the analytics there, and then you watch the film and like you said, he's got the nastiness. He is a good all-around football player. He's a little better still as a run blocker than a pass blocker, but that's not to say his pass blocking is bad. He's just, he likes to get after it in the run game. I mean, that's what he wants to do. And, some players, they will beat on you in the run game, and that slows down their pass rush because, you're sick of getting beat on by this big hulking tevinjenkins. So it has an impact throughout the game. So I think he'll be fine. Again, like you said, it's all about the health. If he's healthy, I think he's there. And I think if he's healthy, man, I think he's going to be one of the higher paid guards in the league. Once it's all said and done. Again, it all comes back to health. If he misses a handful of games, then the Bears may want to let him go, or they may want to get him back on a discount. But for the player, he wants to maximize his contract, right? So he's going to probably look for the best opportunity for him. I want to be a Bear for life. I like him. I like him coming out of college. I like him. I like his mentality. I like his personality. I think he's one of those guys that you like to have in your locker room. And it was a bit of a rocky road there, right, for him, where he was kind of moving positions. He seemed like he was unhappy, but man, he has settled in, and he is a really good offensive guard now.
Yeah, he is, and I do. You know what? I do too. I want him to be a Bear for life as well. We saw his story, and I like it. He's one of those dudes, and that's awesome. Well, let's get to the number one question. All right, we've seen him sling the ball around. We've seen him make plays. We saw him two of the 4 preseason games. Give me your thoughts on Caleb Williams going into it. We heard him talk on Hard Knocks saying, I don't get nervous. All right, I don't get nervous. Give me your thoughts on him going into the season. How comfortable are you with him at this point? All right, he's been exposed to the playbook a lot sooner than most number 1 overall picks would have. He's got a brand new system to run, but I feel a good offensive coordinator, good weapons. Give me your thoughts on Caleb going into week 1 on Sunday.
Yeah, I think that's the key is you hit is he's had the playbook and the concepts much longer than most rookies. I mean, the Bears knew he was the guy, right? Way back when. He knew he was the guy way back when. So he already has started working on some of the concepts. His quarterback trainer is very familiar with Shane Waldron's scheme. They've worked together in the past. So he had a lot of the concepts already he was working on, prior to even being drafted. So he has the mental aspect, further along than most rookies do. Plus, his football IQ is off the charts. I mean, he's a really smart football player. He's coming in with a different perspective on the game. I think he's ready to play. I mean, he's going to have some issues. I mean, all rookies do. I mean, no matter what, they're going to have some hiccups where they see something for the first time, but can he take that and can he learn from it quickly, or is it going to kind of stymie him for a few weeks while he sees it and works through it over and over again? Regardless, I think in the long run, he seems like he's good. He's the guy. He's definitely the future of this franchise. And, we kind of see it around the league. I mean, he's getting a lot of the prime spots on NFL. I mean, some of their ads, some of their promo stuff, the league wants him to be the man. I mean, can you imagine if Chicago has a quarterback, the Chicago market having a top quarterback, and not just top quarterback, a quarterback that has Caleb's skill set, his personality, his business savvy. This guy's coming in as he's already a brand of his own right. So just from a marketability standpoint, this would be great for the league overall.
Yeah, and you said it. The brand, the intelligence, the off the field brand of Caleb Williams. He started an investment firm. All right, so I don't know. I'm not sure if you knew, but his dad's a real estate investor. So you did. So you know what I mean. And that, with his was allegedly, around $10 million in NIL money that he's had. He's had bigger dreams. He can be a magnet. He can, if he stays here, he's going to get, and they get in a second contract, it's going to be a couple $100 million. All right. And God forbid you win the Super Bowl. We're talking, it might be the 60, 70, $80 million a year type of thing if he wins a Super Bowl, on his rookie deal. But again,
I mean, if he wins a title, they're going to name the stadium after him. I mean,
probably.
Let's be serious. I mean, he is going to be
American. It'll be like
franchise.
It'll be a Caleb American Airlines Arena, or Caleb Williams Field at American Airlines Arena.
Right? Yeah. There we go.
Because they got to get the naming rights in there to pay him.
Yeah.
Out in Arlington, they got to pay that one. But yeah, he is a little different, as far as, because for all intents and purposes, he's been a professional for the last 3 years. NIL money is huge, and it comes with a lot of responsibility. It makes you grow up really fast, and I'm happy for him. I'm excited for him. Do you think he has the discipline, to lean on his talent, his playmakers early on as he gets comfortable with this game? Because all he saw was vanilla defenses. He didn't see a lot of different disguises and exotic blitzes in the preseason. You're never going to see that. Do you think he's disciplined enough to say, hey, let me work on the short game. We'll take shots here and there. Of course, we're not asking him to be, all hitches, but give me slants, give me curls, give me hitches, give me these. So everything it's like short game and not be a superhero, because he doesn't have to be anymore. He's not at USC anymore. Do you think his discipline holds up where he says, hey, I could just get it to these guys, they run, and those yards go on my stats too?
I mean, that's the big question. I mean, we kind of saw at college his time to throw was pretty high. Obviously, he's doing a lot of scrambling because of the talent level at USC wasn't the best. His O-line wasn't the best. He was forced to kind of make plays like Superman in college. He's aware of it. I mean, he's talked about it in press conferences where he understands the talent around him. He understands he has to kind of play the point guard role and just kind of get the ball in his players' hands. So he's aware of it, that's what he should be doing. We've even heard Poles and Flus talk about it. Hey, run the offense, and then when the time comes to do the extra stuff, then go out there and be special, right? So I think that they want him. They don't want to take that from him. I know there's been some talk about how quarterbacks passed. Oh, they coached some of the aggressiveness out of the previous Justin Fields, Mr. Trubisky. They coached it out of him.
Yeah, they did.
This regime doesn't seem to want to do that. They want him to be smart with the offense, but they recognize his special talent. They recognize his playmaking ability. So they want him to do that. The key is the balance, right? When do I do that? When do I have to pull, go through my bag of tricks? When do I have to kind of make a play outside the pocket? When do I have to hold on to the ball a little extra longer and hope for something to develop downfield? That's the key. Can you find that balance? I think he can, because like I said, his football IQ is pretty high. He's been kind of working through that. He's, like you said, talented offense around him. I mean, if you're a quarterback coming in and you see, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze as your top of the receivers, like you said, man, get the ball to him on a quick slant, let DJ Moore take it to the house. Those yards still count.
Yep, they damn sure do. And, and that's the great part about it. And guys, we're joined by Lester Wilfong. He is from Windy City Gridiron, and we're talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm excited. I'm really excited about this offense. But what I'm super fired up about is this defense. Let's go to that side of the ball. Are you okay with that D line with not having a true threat yet? Opposite Montez Sweat, we don't know what DeMarcus Walker's going to do, or Booker. That offensive line or defensive line for now.
I like DeMarcus Walker. I think he's a good football player. He may never be a 10-sack guy, but he's smart. He can set the edge, against the run. He can work pretty good off stunts and stuff like that. He understands, when he sees the double team, he has to, get down and kind of hold his ground there. I think Walker's a good football player. I think we'll kind of see him kick inside a bit. And I think until another edge emerges, you're going to see, the three young guys, the guy they just made a trade for, Taylor, from Seattle, obviously Daniel Hardy, and of course, Austin Booker. They're going to run those three guys out there as the other edge, so they always have a fresh body attacking, right? I mean, these guys are all really good athletes, good speed off the edge, so I mean, if you have a chance to kind of run these guys three deep opposite Sweat, in some pass rush situations, your freshness of your player will eventually wear down, the guy on offense. We talk about it the other way around, right? Tevinjenkins, wearing on the defense. That works the other way too, man. If you're attacking the tackle with speed rush, spin, a counter inside, you're making them think with these different moves, because all these players have different parts of the game, right? They're not all the same player. Booker's really good at the long arm. Hardy's more of a speed rush guy. I haven't had a chance to look too much into Turner, but the little bit I saw, he kind of has a nice tool set too. You're always attacking with different things. That's more for the tackle to think about, right? Okay, it's Booker now. I have to remember what's Booker's go-to move. What's his counter? It's a lot of stuff that you're asking these guys to learn. And sometimes when you get a player thinking, that's when mistakes happen.
I think that was a very poignant point you had there, Lester, is the different bags of tricks for each specific player. And if you misjudge or you think one guy's in and the other and he's not, and you're thinking for a bull rush and this guy comes with speed or vice versa, or did this guy have to spin? I don't remember. And all of a sudden you're not ready. You talked about thinking, and as a football player, you don't want to think, you want to react. And especially as a left tackle, you definitely don't want to think, because your quarterback, in our case, our franchise quarterback, his life's on the line for all intents and purposes. And that the different styles, you got to remember who's in, what their go-to is, what their counter move is. And so as opposed to one guy's go-to encounter, now you got three different guys, maybe four different guys go-to encounter move you got to worry about in the game. And you screw up one time, and then that could be the end of it could be a sack. And worst case scenario, you can knock your quarterback out for a game, a week or two, or the season. So I love that the multiple options that the Bears have at the right tackle opposite Sweat, and to provide pressure, because who are you going to double team? You can't double team that dude. Then you're leaving Sweat by himself. You're leaving Gervon Dexter by himself. You're leaving Billings, who commands a double team otherwise, because he's going to collapse the pocket from the inside. We're in a really good spot. Give me your thoughts on Gervon Dexter. Everyone's talking about him. If he takes the next step, he can be that dominant 3-tech, and this defense is predicated on a dominant 3-tech. Your thoughts on Gervon Dexter Jr. Before week 1?
Yeah, I mean, he's got obviously all the skills in the world. He's big, 6'4", 6'5", 300 plus pounds, strong. He kind of played a different technique in college. We've talked about it a lot. So he understands how to do that technique. He's still coming to his own as a 3-tech, as an attacker. But we kind of saw him improve last year as the year went on. We saw a little bit of him, at training camp. He was very disruptive. Obviously, it's training camp. I have to take it with a grain of salt. But he seemed to have taken to the new role. The Bears trust him. I mean, the Bears didn't bother addressing that position at all in the offseason. Right? Like, nope. They like Dexter. They drafted him to be that guy. They saw enough out of him as a rookie in the offseason. I mean, if they didn't like his development, they could have made a move, right? I mean, we kind of saw him go out and they made 2 trades to kind of bolster the depth.
Yep.
But there were guys out there that could have went after. They didn't think Dexter was going to be the guy. They could have made a move. I think they trust Dexter. I'm excited to see what Dexter does. And one thing I noticed this year, a little bit in camp, and I've talked to other people that saw the same thing, is they're not flipping their tackles. They're not flipping 3-tech, 1-tech. They're kind of letting them kind of stay where they are, right, left, similar to what they're doing at safety. And I think that works good with Dexter because he has the strength to play the 1-tech. Billings, maybe not as explosive, obviously off the ball, but he's quick enough. I mean, he can kind of disrupt things too as a 3-tech. So it'll be interesting to see if that carries over into the season, if that was just a wrinkle they're kind of playing with during camp a little bit. But yeah, this D-line as a whole, a lot of potential. There's some question marks, but I think if it comes together, this should be a pretty good unit.
It should be. And, the strength of this defense is the back seven. Let's get to the linebackers. We talked about Edmonds, if he stays healthy. If he stays healthy, how good can this guy be? He's about 6'4", 6'5", with the speed to cover the middle, especially in this Tampa 2 type of defense that we run for the most part. Your thoughts on Tremaine Edmonds if he stays healthy?
Yeah, a lot of fans are down on Edmonds last year. Obviously, he got the big money. He was hurt a little bit. He didn't really make impactful plays early, but I think he ended up with pretty good numbers across the board. Year one in the scheme, it always takes some players a little longer than others.
Mhm.
And the Mike in this scheme, they ask him to do a lot of different things. You talk about the coverage aspects. He has that prototypical build that you want out of that Tampa 2-esque middle linebacker. 6'4", long arms. He's really good in coverage. We kind of saw that in Buffalo. Two-time Pro Bowler. So I'm expecting him to bounce back from what he did last year. But then along with TJ Edwards, those two are a really good tandem. They work well together. And coming into year two, both these guys, I expect both their games to take a step up.
Yeah, well, Edwards was in the top 2 or 3 in tackles for most of the year last year. And I said earlier in the show, like, you got 2 for the price of 1. Both of those guys you got for a little more than Roquan was asking. Roquan was asking, I think they got these guys for 105, 110, or both of them. And you're getting a guy who's, at the top of the leaderboard in tackles every year. What a phenomenal signing by Poles. Let's get to the strength of this defense, man. That's the back 5. Lord have mercy. Talk to me. Jalen Johnson has a chip on his shoulder. Tariq Stevenson is a year older, a lot more settled. Talk to me about how good this secondary can be, because Jalen Johnson already said he's got something to play for. He's already pissed about the not being first team All Pro, not being on the top 100, and he's a second team All Pro.
Yeah.
Stevenson has gotten more comfortable. Brisker, Gordon. Talk to me about this secondary. How phenomenal, or how good can this unit be?
If I have one minor gripe about Hard Knocks, is we didn't see enough of the cornerbacks, and the safeties. I think this is pretty good group as far as talent wise. But I think they have pretty good personalities too. Brisker's always talking trash, right? He's doing his thing. Kyler Gordon has the Spidey thing going for him. Stevenson played at the U, so he's cocky, right? He likes talking trash too. And then Jalen Johnson, man, the little bit we got from Jalen Johnson, he was the one guy they kind of focused on. His personality really came through. And like you said, he's pissed off, man. He talked about it in his press conference. He feels he was snubbed. So I think he's going to go out there and have a big year. And then, of course, the vet, Kevin Byard coming in here, it can really, really brings a level of professionalism to the back end, smart football player. I just think this back end, like you said, it's the strength of this team. I'm expecting a huge year from Kyler Gordon, playing that nickel spot. It's a huge part of Flus's scheme. That he's talked about it. That's like, that's the guy that really helps. It's the 3 tech is huge, but the nickel's asked to do a lot of different things. Obviously, he has to cover. He's a defensive back, but when they're in nickel, he's playing the run fit, right? He has to come in up and play the run, just like your Sam linebacker does. So they're expecting a lot out of Gordon. I expect him to meet that challenge. And then, Brisker, his payday's coming up pretty soon too. So he has to keep playing well. And this year they're asking him to do something different. He's not just going to be your strong. Like you talked about earlier, he's right, left, right? They're going to try and disguise coverages by not letting them, tip where they're lining up. So we're going to see him a little bit more playing a little more free, a little more in single high, possibly on occasion. So does he have the ball skills to match? I think it's possible. We got to see how it plays out on the field.
When Ryan Poles drafted those 2 DBs, his first 2 picks, what were your thoughts? Like, you got after a corner who's not even the true outside, is the inside maybe, but you don't know where he's at, and a safety. Give me your thoughts when he drafted these guys a couple of years ago.
Yeah, when I think back, at the time, I wasn't overly high on him. I liked them as football players, but I'm like, me, man. I want some big guys. I want the trenches, right? Address the lines. If you're in rebuild, right, then you got to start building up front. So at the time, I was like, man, I wish they could have done a different direction. But the more you get into Gordon, you like his game. You see how Flus envisions him as your nickel. You realize the importance of it. Okay, I understand that pick. But Brisker kind of had a rocky rookie year. He kind of bounced back last year, in and out of the lineup with a few minor injuries here and there, but he still played I think 15 games. I mean, it wasn't like he missed a ton of time. He just kind of left the field a few times. So as fans, we that's in our mind, right? Oh, he's down again. On Twitter, it's always, Brisker's hurt again, right? And he went out for players who came back in, whatever it was. So I think Brisker's going to be good there. Overall, man, I think both these guys, I mean, they have that potential to earn that next big contract for the Bears.
I hope they do. I hope they do. I hope they make it a big time problem, because that means we will have really would have stepped up. This team would have been really just shut down. Like some people in the comments, he talked about the no-fly zone. I like it. I think that's appropriate for this group. And I think that this team has the attitude. Talk to me about this defense in as a whole. Do you think that they realize that they're going to be counted on, that they're probably going to have to carry the load a little bit until this offense kind of gets in sync? And then I have a second question after this one.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I mean, these guys have been around long enough to know that rookie quarterbacks, as much as they're all bought in on Caleb, they also understand, we're going to have to kind of carry this offense possibly. And if they don't, that's great. That's awesome. But I think they all of the mindset where, let's get in it. Let's get after it. Let's create some turnovers, which is something that Flus preaches anyway, right? He always wants the takeaways. So I think they realize that's something that they'll have to do early. But then, man, once this whole thing is working with real good synergy, the offense feeds off the defense feeds off the offense. Once you have a full, total team, that's when you start talking, this is going to be a legit playoff contender year in, year out.
Can the easier part of the first half part of the schedule? Let me ask you, let me put it this way. How long do you think before this offense clicks? This first 9 games, 10 weeks, 9 games, there's not a lot of teams that can really exploit us. There's a couple, don't get me wrong. You got the Rams, you got the Texans. We don't know about with the Colts and Richardson. Is he going to have a really good year because he had a chance to watch a redshirt year? We don't really know about this Tennessee Titans team, because you got Callahan now, and are they going to really step up? But how soon do you think that this offense can start to hit stride, start running on all cylinders?
Yeah, I mean, that's the key, right? The early season, some of these games are on paper, at least. You're like, these guys, this team should be able to be pretty good. That's why a lot of analysts have them predicted to be 9, 10, maybe 11 wins, because they see the early part of the season. They figure, hey, they'll get a little bit of momentum. It'll carry over. They'll win a couple games late. They probably shouldn't, But yeah, I mean, I talked to our guys that run the Texan site, right? I asked them, when did you know that CJ Stroud was the guy? When did the offense really start clicking where you as fans it's finally there? And they said it was about mid-season. As good as Stroud was, as good as he looked right out of the gate, there were still some times where they're kind of watching the Texans play and they're like, we're still not sure. But then about mid-season, they said, everything kind of fell into place. It all looked like it was working right. The offense was kind of flowing good. That's a really talented offense there too, as far as the receivers, and they have some good tight ends there too. So yeah, I think as Bears fans, if we can kind of, go through some of the early season struggles, which all teams kind of do, especially young teams. And then the Bears, as much as they're in year 3, it's still, when your quarterback's young, it's a young team, right? So Caleb has to kind of go through those early season struggles, work through those rookie mistakes. But if we get this to about mid-season, things should start clicking. And then at that point, now your bye week's coming up, you have a chance to kind of reset, and then you go into all your division games, towards the end of the season. And then by then, man, who knows where this team will be? Yeah,
I'm thinking that as well. I'm thinking that that's why I asked you about the defense, because the defense can hold up, and they start to click. They start to click real quick, and I'm looking at it because you got the early exposure to the offense, and the growing pains, and that shortened the learning curve because of the advanced time, the more time he's had in the system. And yeah, I agree with you, bro. I think that at week 10 or after week 10, so week 11 when we play the Packers, I think our offense is at that point should be should be running pretty smooth. Not as great as it will be next year in 2 years, but it should be running pretty damn smooth at that particular point. And the defense will be in tip-top form. And now we got the Packers at home after that. Yeah, I think that'll be a great chance for this Bears to make a run and make this playoffs. I think they will. Do you see them winning the division or in the division hunt? Let me put it that way.
Yeah, I think they have a good chance. I got them at 10 wins. I just think that, it's still, like I said, you're going to have some growing pains here. Who knows? It's football is a game of inches, right? If the ball bounces a certain way, all of a sudden you're looking at 11, 12 wins. If it bounces the other way, you're looking at 8 wins possibly. So I got them at 10 wins. I just think the Lions are a really good football team. I think the Lions are probably still the class of the division. And then, of course, man, as much as I hate the Packers, you cannot count them out. Jordan Love, I wanted him to be bad, and he looks like he's going to be pretty good too. So, between the Lions and Packers, I think they're pretty good. And then the Vikings too, man. The Vikings, everyone's counting them out, but that's still a pretty good football team from a talent perspective. Obviously they got some quarterback issues, but I think the defense is really aggressive, really tough over there. That's going to be a tough out too. It's a tough division. So I'd be surprised if the Bears won it, but I do see them making the playoffs.
I do too. I think they could. What's the furthest what's the ceiling for the Bears this year for you?
I got them 10. I think 10 is if everything goes good. I think I got them at 10. Like I said, a bounce here and there. Who knows?
No, I'm saying divisional NFC title game, Super Bowl.
I saw a recent, I think it was one of the ESPN analytics sites. One of those guys, they did their model, right? And they had the Bears winning the wild card round. So, if that happens, that'd be outstanding. I think just from where this franchise has been for the last several decades,
in the last 2 years, Jesus Christ,
just making the playoffs, I think is a great goal for this franchise. Winning a game, I think if that happens, I think then forget about it. We're gonna all start singing our Super Bowl song.
I agree. Lester, great stuff, man. I appreciate you every single time you come on, man. Do me a favor, though. Let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Everything I write is at WindyCityGridiron.com. All our audio and podcast stuff is at Second City Gridiron. Tonight, we got a special Bears Over Beers season kickoff spectacular. That's like a 2-hour show. I'll be on, I think, at 7. So check this out on our YouTube channel.
Excellent, man. Great stuff, dude. I'm fired up. Sunday's going to be a long time waiting. And you know what? I'm wondering how it's going to be. It's going to be, I'll put it this way, it's going to be rocking down the lakefront. It is going to be rocking. Hey, boss, I appreciate it, man. We'll be in touch soon. Bear the freak down, baby. We should start off 1-0.
Anytime, my friend. Take it easy.
All righty. Guys, that's Lester Wilfong Jr. from Windy City Gridiron. Man, we're all excited about this, and it's it's a era of a new beginning. Okay, and a lot of people are excited, and rightfully so. And I can't, man. The expectations that are placed on the Bears. Week 1 is paramount. It's paramount. And I've said this before on my show. Week 1 is paramount. You have to win week 1. You have to. All right, if, ands, or buts. You've worked all the offseason moves you had, all the free agent signings, the trades, the extensions, all the stuff that you did in the offseason. Is going to be called to the forefront this week. If you don't win this week, if you don't win Sunday, okay, all the hype, all the anticipation, you're going into Houston next Sunday, the following Sunday, 0-1 with a chance to go 0-2. What happens if this team starts 0-2? The possibility is there. All right. The Tennessee Titans, they're not an easy team. It's not a pushover. You got a brand new offensive-minded head coach in Brian Callahan. All right, Will Levis and Callahan. They might be able to do some stuff. This is why this defense needs to step up. This is why this defense needs to mark their territory. They need to go around, piss around on the piece of grass like this is ours. You know how dogs do? They go in and just pee just to mark their territory. Soldier Field is ours. It is ours. Because you cannot. What is this town going to look like if we start off 0-2? How many fire Eberflus calls will sports talk radio get? Well, the signs will be in the stands. How many of those? So it's paramount. 1-1 and 0-2 are two completely different worlds. Two completely different mindsets for this football crazed city. They've got to come in here at home, beat the Tennessee Titans. Now, if they absolutely whoop them, oh my goodness. Look at this. You guys are fools. I'm ready trying to decide our first game meal choices. I'm so excited. That's from Off the Dub. And King Booker World says, I think people are giving Packers credit based off reputation. They only won one game more than we did. Yes. But if you saw the way that they finished the season, like the way we finished the season last year, all right, let's not forget that. We finished the season so much stronger than we started it. We were 0-4, remember? It was like, what the hell is going on? But now, we turned it around, just like the Packers. And Off the Dub says, Shawn, you just snatched my heartstrings saying that. But keep it in a buck. That's a real possibility. What if it's a last second field goal or something? Okay, it can happen. But I'm just saying, how much would that be? How much would that affect this fan base? Fire Poles, fire Eberflus, fire everybody. Yeah, me too. Me too. King Booker World says, I'm still mad about that Broncos game. I hear you. I don't think, I'll give you my prediction on Friday. I don't think they start off 0-2. Okay? But again, this game one is paramount. Paramount. I have a feeling. Cornelius, you brought a great point, dude. My man, Cornelius, great point. Cornelius writes, now we have an OC who can call plays on par with LaFleur. Up in Green Bay. There's so many things that are right about this team. And remember, I've said this plenty of times on the show. The number one acquisition this offseason was Shane Waldron. The number one acquisition this offseason for the Chicago Bears, in my opinion, is Shane Waldron. It didn't matter if we kept Justin or if we got Caleb. Shane Waldron is a veteran offensive play caller who's going to maximize the ability of the quarterback. And let's not forget, I said the number two acquisition, the second best acquisition for this team was Eric Washington. Phenomenal defensive line coach, extremely well respected throughout the league for his ability to bring out the best in his players, in his defensive line, in his room. it's going to be I hope it's not a dogfight. I hope it's a situation where the Bears come out, the defense establishes their dominance. I even want the defense to score 10 points. By 10 points, I mean a pick six, scoop and score, or they turn the ball, they stop them, and we kick a field goal because they give us such a short field. But this defense, when people say, and many people have said, you can't expect the defense to score every game. I agree with them. But I do expect this defense to set up scores every game. I expect them to set up scores. By that, I mean, we get the ball, we get turnovers inside the 30. 40. We'll go inside the 40. One first down puts us in field goal range for the most part. Get a turnover. Get a turnover on the plus side of the ball. I mean, on the plus side of the field. Get it deep in their territory, inside the 40. Torrey Taylor is going to be huge for us. We can pin these guys deep. Defense holds them 3 and out. We get a decent kick return, punt return. We're inside the 50. We're on plus side of the field. This is how I see this defense helping us. And I'm ready for it. And I think the thing that I'm most confident in is that the defense is there are far too many players on this defense feel like they have something to prove. Far too many. I shouldn't, and it sounds like a bad thing. There are way too many team players on this defense that have something to prove this year, and I like it. Obviously, Jaden Johnson's told you he's pissed. Okay. Gervon Dexter, is he the dominant 3 tech that we're missing? Jaquan Brisker, is he ready to take a step into up to the next level? Where Pro Bowl talk is, he's in the Pro Bowl conversation. What about Kyler Gordon? Is he ready to take that step into the Pro Bowl conversation as a nickelback? Montez Sweat signed a huge deal. Is he ready to show us it wasn't for naught? These guys need to get it together. These guys need to make sure they come out. I would love to see hell unleashed. Tennessee Titans. I want the Bears to unleash hell. All right, we've had hell unleashed on us far too long. Far too long. By hell, I mean, to start off the season, I would love a 5 or 6 sack game by the Bears defense. I would love a 2 to 3 touchdown pass game from our quarterback. And I would love at least 10 other pressures or quarterback hits on Will Levis. Where it comes out, you just know. If I have to drop back and pass, it's got to come out in under 2 seconds. Otherwise, I'm getting collapsed. This pocket is collapsing. King Booker World says, I think Gordon is going to be the breakout DB this year. I can't argue that. But I also can't argue Jaquan Brisker either. Like, there's so much talent. Like, I could easily see Gordon being. I mean, he breaks up a couple passes, picks off one, gives us the spidey web. you know, King Booker World also writes, my word for the defense this year is havoc. That's what they need to bring to every team, havoc. Yeah. Fun. And the sooner Caleb can grasp the offense, okay, what do they say? Just be a point guard, distribute, make plays when he can, when necessary, because there's going to be times when it breaks down. It's the NFL. Do those special things he can do off platform. But the sooner they get that short game down, that run game down, the short passing game, the run game, wow, things are going to open up. At that point, I almost feel bad for the rest of the NFL. Almost. Almost. I wonder if this defense understands. I think they might, but I wonder if they understand how great they can be. You can go down in the annals of one of the best defenses in Chicago Bear history, one of the best defenses in the NFL. I wonder if Eberflus just talks to them about it and how bad they as a group, individually and as a group, want it. I can see Jalen Johnson wants it. How bad does this group want to be great? Because they're good now. They're really good now. But there's a there's a distinction between very good and great. Do they want to be great? We're going to find out. We're going to find out on Sunday. Do they get to wreak havoc and unleash havoc, King Booker World? Will they unleash havoc on this team on Sunday in Tennessee? We're going to find out. We're going to find out. Because if you remember last year, the Bears were not ready to play in the opening game, in the opener. They were not ready to play. That cannot happen. That cannot happen this year. Eberflus has to do a great job of coaching them up, getting them ready. And I think it'll be easier because of the motivation of this defense. But you cannot come out flat. The Bears cannot come out flat. There's no way. They can't come out flat. Because then all that stuff is just hogwash. Just bullshit. Man, 3 hours has come and gone. I want to thank my guest, Lester Wilfong Jr., for coming out talking Bears football with me. Great stuff for him. Make sure you follow him at Windy City Gridiron, and Second City Gridiron is their YouTube channel for all their videos. Make sure you check that out from those guys. All right, so Sports Zone Chicago. Guys, have a phenomenal day. I'll replay this at 6. Today at 12:15, excuse me, Second City Sports is coming on again. Are coming out today because they were off Monday like we were for the holidays. So Lakina McGee and Sydney Brown are going to take you on another 2-hour tour of some Chicago sports at 12:15. Okay, 12:15. And then, folks, I guess for both of us, Shawn and Maya and Second City, we'll see you again on Friday. You think I'm fired up? I'm a little reserved, calm today. I'll be really fired up on Friday because it's Friday of game week. All right, Friday of game week. And many people thought it seemed like forever that this day to get here. It seemed like forever. First practice of the week. Well, then they had not in the walkthrough on Monday, but their padded practice today. They're going to be thumping a little bit today. Game week. And let me tell you, from my experience, there was nothing like your first game week preparing for the first game of the season. Nothing. So I remember how fired up I was. And I know these men are going to be fired up as well at Hallis Hall today. So listen, guys, have a phenomenal day. All right. Enjoy. It's going to be a little cooler today. And that's okay. That's fine. Let's see what are they talking. What's the temperature? Oh, it's going to be 83. So it's not going to be that cool. All right. But get out there, enjoy it. I know summertime shy is over. Fall's here. Football's here. And that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. All right. Blank. Havoc. King Booker World says, hell yeah. That's the word of the year. Havoc. All right, folks. I will see you guys on Friday. This again replays tonight at 6 p.m. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, all right, I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Guess what, folks? I am out.